because those kind of things will determine a lot of things before. Incapable of abstract reasoning. And we all know that too, that when you talk to children, they cannot think in terms of idiomatic expressions or abstract reasoning. Everything to them is lack of restraining or boasting aggressiveness. And we mentioned that a little bit in people, for instance, young men who will do some silly, stupid things without thinking ahead of what the consequences may be. So these are all signs of a well-developed frontal lobe. So there's other things that we know that diseases that can come out of this, impaired frontal lobe result in impaired character. So mania, obsessive compulsive disorder, appetite increases can happen there, ADHD or ADD or problems of focusing, and depression can come out of these things as well. So now work with dynamite in case the same thing happened to you in Phineas Gage. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about life in a negative way. And so those are a lot of those things that are there. There are occupational hazards, yes. There are certain things that we do. And we also know that part of the frontal lobe's function has to do with willpower or the will and how we deal with that. And so I see people like this. I'm a physician, so I see their medications, and they know exactly what they need to do to make life better or different. But somehow, they just don't have the willpower or the will to make the changes in their life. And we all know, maybe we have things in our lives that we just don't seem to be able to do the things that we need to do to make those changes, to change our health. What about weight? They say now if you go on the streets and you randomly just interview people, about 85% of Americans are on a diet every single day of their life because they all want to lose weight. But how many of them are actually successful in doing that? Very few. We all know that we need to exercise because it's good for us. And most people have a pair of running shoes or a pair of tennis shoes or whatever you want to call them, but how many of us are actually using them on a daily basis to become better at these things? And I will see diabetics that will come in and you warn them and you can threaten them with death and with strokes and with heart disease, and they just don't seem to be totally powerless in making a choice. And then one day they come there and you see, oh, they've been to the emergency a week or so ago and they had a stroke. And now they come in we seem to accept this as part of life, for the way we think about the things that happen. Because many times people don't care about the road they're on. And they just don't seem to worry or have any motivation or willpower to change. And they will just continue on suffering and being on that sick bed. Now, I'm not talking about people that are terminal and that, is on a long sick bed next time. Sometimes in cases like that, death is a welcome thing because people are suffering. I'm talking about relatively young people, life still ahead of them, that just maybe have an illness that they can manage and do better in a much more productive way. So, and I believe this is all because of a lack of willpower and frontal lobes that are not working properly, because the frontal lobe is a place where the seat of the will resides. Dr. Baldwin, he's passed away now. Dr. Baldwin, many of you may know him. He's one of the physicians that used to work at Wildwood. Wrote an article in 1990 in Ministry Magazine, and what he found was he looked at wounds from World War I and II veterans who were in explosions and had shrapnel injuries to their brain. And he compared what were the different characteristics of some of the people who had shrapnel wounds to the front part of their brain and those who had shrapnel wounds to the back part of their brain. And they found that it was totally and completely different. He found that those people who were hit in the rear of the brain had no problems with making decisions and willpower and morality and those kind of things. And those that were hit in the front of the brain had all kinds of problems exercising their will and making decisions and sticking with those decisions. Now, closely related to our willpower is our ability to see the big picture. And again, this is something that we can see very easily in young people. As young people grow up through their teenage years, they begin to understand things and stuff, but they just seem to not be at the big picture. Let us look at this one thing mom and dad doesn't want me to do right now. This is restrictive, and this is restrictive, and this is a rule I need to do. They can't step back and say, look at the big picture. And we all need to look at the big picture in life. Because otherwise we will make life very, very hard for us. So closely related to this is the big picture. Another study was done by a Russian scientist, and what they found was that individuals with frontal lobe impairment were unable to draw conclusions when presented with a series of pictures. They were able to identify each picture individually, but what all the pictures meant and where it pointed to, they were unable to comprehend. And so many times of God to people, and they will look at it and they say, I can see it, it's in the Bible, I know it, but when they put all the things together, they somehow can't see how it is relevant for them in their lives today. And we have millions of people that are like that, that know the truth, but that are unable to see the big picture of how God is putting this all together. And so the things that we do in our lifestyles, can those things have long-term impact on our spirituality and on our eternal life? You better believe it. You know, when I was younger, I used to think when people say what you eat and what you drink and how you live, and you exercise and you sleep 8 hours, you know, it's got nothing to do with it. You're telling me that somebody out there is going to not be able to follow God because he doesn't sleep 8 hours a night every night? I said that can't be true. And let me tell you, we've all read the verse in the Bible that says that those people who choose to not have a love for the truth, that God will hand them over to believe a lie. And so God doesn't force any one of us. We don't normally think about that. When we think about our consciences, you know, if your conscience was something that would bother you more and more and more every time you do something wrong, you would either have to change what God is saying. All right? But God doesn't work like that. God allows you to live with the choices that you make. And your conscience actually bothers you less. How God allows you to always bother you more, He would really take away your power of choice. Because you can't live with yourself, because your conscience bothers you too much. So you either have to change or go insane. So God says, no, I'm not going to do that. I value you as an individual too much. I will allow you to make rotten choices. But you have to live with the consequences. And so that's why it's so important for us to how these kind of things work. So deficiencies in insight can leave us dead over a lifetime to not be able to make the lifestyle changes that we need to make because we have no insight. It's like an alcoholic. Unless an alcoholic understands that he has a problem, you can't help him. Somebody who has no insight that there's something that they can improve can't be helped. It's also called the intelligence trap. I know everything. I can't learn anymore. So those people are in an intelligence trap. And will be predisposed to failure on an ongoing basis. So, in short, both willpower and insight is necessary for us to make lasting lifestyle changes in our lives. And both those things are impacted by the frontal lobe. So I'm just trying to get a little used to this computer here, so that's okay. There are certain things that we do that impacts our frontal lobe and that damages our frontal lobes. Illicit drugs, we all know that. You know, there's drugs that people use that and affect their things properly and to think straight. And so we are all aware of those kinds of things. But there are other things also that can play on certain prescription drugs. Drugs that your doctor prescribed to you that can affect your frontal lobe. We know that. Many times we ignore it. Everybody that takes a sleep aid or a sleeping tablet or a nerve pill, what do we call those pills? Tranquilizers. What does a tranquilizer mean?
calms you down.
Yeah, it suppresses your frontal lobe. That's how it calms you down. It suppresses your, because it makes you sleepy. You see, that's the pill that they gave you before you go for surgery. And so when you go for surgery, you're kind of nice and sleepy. And when they put the IV up, you know, they put the IV in because you're already kind of very much relaxed and stuff. And so these are medications that many people use on a regular basis. And it suppresses our ability to make proper decisions and suppresses our frontal lobes. And so we have to be very careful, even with medications that are prescribed, as to what they can do on our frontal lobe. Obviously, alcohol, and this is a major problem even within Christian communities nowadays, and even within the average church, where people say, well, what does one drink do? You know, one drink isn't going to make you drunk, you know, but we know alcohol is a toxin, it causes the blood-brain barrier, and it suppresses your frontal lobe. And so even one drink a day is enough to do that. So there's other social things, alcohol, there's caffeine. Caffeine, a major problem in Christianity, but becoming a major problem in the average church. Because people no longer see anything wrong with it, because it's such an accepted thing that everybody is doing. And so caffeine is everywhere. It's in energy drinks, it's in workout, and it's in coffee, and it's in soft drinks, sodas, it's everywhere. And so, but it's a drug that crosses the blood-brain barrier and suppresses the brain in the frontal lobe. Nicotine, we know about that one. Those kind of things can all do those type of things. Some of these medications mimic certain neurotransmitters in your brain that can cause some problems for you if they affect things to our mental function. Babies that are breastfed, brain functions better. And so, subsequently to those research, we now know that most formulas for babies are fortified with omega-3s, because people know that this is something that we need to use. And the whole world at the moment is on the omega-3 wave. Everything is about palm oil and coconut oils and all these kind of things, fish oils and omega-3s that we need to get in. And yes, those things do play a role and are healthy for us, and we need to get those kind of things in our diets. There we go. Another study that was done in 1986, that's about 30 years ago now, I guess, was published in the Lifestyle Journal, where they took two groups of rats, and they fed the one group a high diet, 20% of their calories coming from saturated fat, like lard, and then they took another group of rats and they put them on a oil that they got polyunsaturated oil from soy, and they found that the group that got the soy fat, that got the unsaturated fat, they did much better. Their brains functioned better, and these rats lived longer. And they had increased learning speed. So these things are important when we know that there's certain things that we do need to get in our diet, and there's some fats, particularly the linoleic fats and oils, that can be of benefit to our brains and helps our brain synapses to fire more effectively. What about sugar in the frontal lobe? We know, it took us many, many years to Dr. Neil Barnard from the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine out of Washington. He's very politically active. He's also very much pushing for plant-based diets. It took him years, and we had to sue the federal government to be able to get soda machines out of schools. We put all our young boys on Ritalin and all these drugs because they are all diagnosed with ADD and ADHD because they can't sit still in class. But there's all these sugary drinks that are in the schools, and they fill themselves with all the sugar and stuff, which stimulates their frontal lobes and impairs their ability to think and learn properly. But praise the Lord, he was able to pass that and won the lawsuit, and was able to have a law passed that pop machines and things to be removed from public school in the right direction. But sugar, we all know, can cause false neurotransmitters in our brains and cause people to think and do things in a way that's not right, because it affects our ability to think and make decisions properly. What about rich foods? Increases false neurotransmitters that cause some problems. If you're a migraine sufferer, you don't eat chocolate, don't eat cheese, don't eat all these kind of things, because there are substances in these foods that crosses the blood-brain barrier and act as neurotransmitters and can cause headaches and can cause malfunction of your brain, especially your frontal lobe. And so those kind of things are not good for us. Is tyramines, which causes migraines, which is abundant in cheeses. And that's why some people that eat certain chocolate because of these substances. So there's other things that causes behavioral problems. Tryptamine is another substance that are in these foods that can cause these things. And arachidonic acid interferes also with the production of the neurotransmitters in the brain. Arachidonic acid is a substance that is particularly high in animal foods, meat, especially if you grill the meat and you burn it a little bit on the outside. That's where the arachidonic acids come from. Excuse me. We also know that in councils on diets and foods, let me see if I've got a slide of that. I think so. No, we don't. So we'll go back there. Ellen White actually has a statement there where she talks about cheese, and she says it's cheeses are substances that should not be introduced into the stomach of human beings. Page 368 on councils of diets and foods. And the reason for that is because of all the substances that are in there. Cheese is a very concentrated product. It's high in fat and it's very contaminated. It's got no carbs and it's got no fiber. It only has fat and protein and contaminants. That's why it's so flavorful, because it's so concentrated. And so we need to avoid those kind of foods as much as we can. We also know that there's many athletes nowadays that are going vegetarian or vegan because they perform better and they don't have these substances on board. I want to talk a little bit about the Spartan diet. Spartan diet, not many people know about the Spartan diet, but Spartan diet means it's a diet that contains less calories than what you would have normally consumed. Now, this is a very, very interesting thing because there's lots of studies that have been done on this. They've actually taken rats and they give them 10% less calories than what they normally would get. And then the rats live 10% longer. And then they take those rats and they let them eat 20% less calories than they normally would eat. And the rats would live 20% longer. And they would take 30% less calories than what the rat would normally eat, and they would live 30% longer. And they would take 40%, and the rats would live 40% longer than their counterparts. They took 50% calories. They cut their diets in half the amount of calories, and those rats lived 50% longer than their counterparts. When they went more than 50%, the rats died of starvation. All right? So 50% was the cutoff point. And they've done studies on human beings with this, where they've taken people and they've restricted their calories deliberately. And they found that people's brain function, their ability to use their brains, their cognition, their reasoning, their mathematical skills all improved. And we take that back and we look at why God instituted fasting in the Bible. Fasting was a time for us to cleanse our bodies and to get our minds right and ready with God, because we can think more clearly and we can hear the voice of God speaking to us better and clearly. And the world is beginning to catch on. If you go onto the internet nowadays, you see a lot of things about intermittent fasting and people that do workouts, people go 2 meal plans a day so they can fast 16 hours every day. Lots and lots of health benefits that are associated with that. And the main thing that is, it gives you brain health. People can think and reason better. And there's a lot of studies that they've done on this. There's one particular study where they've looked at old people, individuals older than 75. And they found that if those guys have eaten a calorie-restricted diet 20 years earlier, that their brain function and their ability and their chances of developing Alzheimer's and other dementias was much reduced to eat over time. Most people only eat 1 meal a day, and that's all day. Instead of eating 3 meals or 2 meals a day, and have times in between where we don't have food all the time. And so it's important for us to realize that these things have incredible impact on our mental capacity. And they've done many mental status evaluations on these old people, and they outperform the other people in their same age group, just because they reduce and restrict their calories. So overeating is a problem. Now, can you remember somebody who talked about overeating? Councils on Diet and Foods, page 50. It's not necessary to drink alcohol in order to be intemperate, she says. Some of intemperance is eating too much, too frequently, and of rich, unwholesome foods. It destroys unhealthy action of our gastrointestinal tracts. It affects brain and perverts judgment. It prevents rational, calm thinking. This is a fruitful source of church comfort. Have mercy. Just eating too much. This is what Alan White said many years ago. So we know this, and science is catching up with it, and they're telling us the same thing. Things that we've known for many years. Prayer and from below. But before I get to prayer, there's another thing that I just want to mention here, and that is hypnotism. Hypnotism is now a thing that is becoming more and more acceptable in our society. There's many things that can hypnotize people: television, music, all these kind of things that suppresses the frontal lobe. And now we've got hypnotism that is now accepted, especially by most physical therapists. They do some of these things, and by other psychiatrists, and people use all these things to make people stop smoking, to help people with their pain, deal with pain, and all these type of things. And we all know what hypnotism is. Hypnotism is a state where your brain and your frontal lobe switch off. You still have your basic functions in place, but your ability to reason and to distinguish between what is appropriate and inappropriate is taken out. That's why you can make suggestive things to people, and they will start taking their clothes off in front of everybody else. And so when people go for these kind of things, go to some shows where you've seen people being hypnotized, they always get these people to do something that they shouldn't be doing. And then afterwards, they can't remember that they've done this because their frontal lobes and their brains are switched off and unable to distinguish between what is good, what is bad, what's right and wrong. And it has to do with their brain waves that are changed. And the therapist short-circuit those brain waves. And so their emotions there and things are short-circuited. And so these kind of things can be a major problem. So what about prayer? You know, there's studies have shown that whether you are in a meditative state through prayer, or whether you are in a meditative state through yoga, or some of these Eastern meditations, it will reduce your stress, and it will make you calmer, and you will feel better. There's no question about it. That's why these people do it. But the difference is, when you're in meditation of Eastern kind and yoga, your frontal lobe is switched off. You go into an alpha brainwave pattern, where people don't communicate and register with the outside world. Whereas in prayer, your frontal is engaged, and you're in a beta brainwave pattern. So there are definitely two totally different things there. So one needs to look at these things. We want to stay in a brainwave pattern. A book was written by a doctor by the name of Larry Dossey. It's called Healing Words, The Power of Prayer. Now, this guy grew up as an evangelical Christian. His father was a pastor, he was a Protestant, but he became a self-proclaimed agnostic in college. And so he started doing all kinds of things against Christianity and against these kind of things. And he started studying into Buddhism and Taoism and all these other Eastern religions and stuff. And so, but his perspectives were shattered when he found out, through a host of studies that he came across, that prayer actually made a difference in the health of individuals. And so he decided that he would test this and check if this is actually so or not. And so that's what he did. And I did a study in Akimi study in Japan, and they looked at SRC, which stands for spontaneous regression of cancer. So these are people that for some other reason, the cancers just disappeared. And they don't know why. And what they found in the study was that these patients that have had this happen to them have given themselves totally over to the will of God. And so this was very interesting for him that he found that this was what had happened there. And so he quotes this book that this guy has written in the study quite extensively. And so another guy in this study came out, his name is Dr. Bird, and what they did then is they took 400 intensive care patients that were all in intensive care. So these are fairly sick people. And so they divided them randomly into two groups, and the one group they had prayed for. Now the patients didn't know. The group that was prayed for had less complications, they required less antibiotics, they experienced fewer deaths, even though the outcome was not statistically significant because the study wasn't long enough, and actually too few people have died for them to actually figure that out, so that's why the study wasn't statistically significant. But the correlation was still there, that these people did much better because they were prayed for by other people they didn't even know that they were prayed for. Healthy frontal lobes can surely avail ourselves of prayer, and such prayer is not the hypnotic-like mental state meditation. It's a different kind of prayer where our frontal lobes are switched on. Okay. Now, we talked about drugs, we talked about diet and nutrition. What about television and music? I'm not going to go much into that. There's a lot of things on that. It's a whole topic on its own. We all know that the music and the television things that people are doing, when people are going into a hypnotic stage, usually what they do is people need to focus on a flickering light or something that is flickering, and that's exactly what happens in television because of the rapid change of reference and of the picture. The picture changes every 2 to 3 seconds on the average of any entertainment kind of television. And so these kind of things have a hypnotic-like state. And we have all seen kids sit in front of the TV. And you can go in front of them. And so television has definitely a hypnotic effect. And there's nothing in our society, I believe, that destroys the appetite for spiritual things more than the media and television. I think that's the one thing that has cut the heart out of the Adventist church and the spirituality that we need to have for the things of God. I have no questions about that. Because when we look at people, we talk to people, people are addicted to their media, their devices, they're on the screens all the time, they watch all kinds of things, and there's nothing more that's ripping the heart out of the SDA church than the television and programming and movies and these kind of things. So, can you watch on TV? Can what you watch on TV influence your brain? Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why Satan's biggest deception in the last days is that we can watch these things and we think we can get away with it. And most people, when you ask them, they say, well, I know these things that the television and all these things do to me, but I'm just watching. I'm going to ask you a question. If you were in the Garden of Eden that day, and Eve was standing the stone there, and you saw her walking there by the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and you went up to Eve and you tapped her on the back of the shoulder and you said, Eve, what are you doing? What do you think she would have said? I'm just looking. I'm just looking. Is there a sin in the look? David was just on top of his roof one night. He was just looking. But he looked too long. And got him and his whole household and the whole nation of Israel into all kinds of trouble. Yes, there is a sin in the look. And we can fool ourselves by saying, yes, I'm just looking, it doesn't make a difference on me, it doesn't make an impact in my life, but it does. Whatever we put into our minds changes us in the way we think. And television is doing the same thing. And the main thing that is causing this is the rapid changing of scene reference, specifically used in modern television, and where the scene is changed every 3 to 5 seconds. Nobody can experience life that fast. It's abnormal. So they have multiple cameras, and so if you look at advertisement in a matter of 15 seconds or 10 seconds, you'll have 5, 6, 7 looks at the same thing from different angles. And each one is just 1 second, 2 seconds. And so those information is coming to your brain so fast that your brain cannot process it all. And so at night when you're supposed to sleep, then your brain goes to work to filter through all those images that have been presented. And so that's why people who watch all these kind of things, they end up having dreams and nightmares because their brains don't shut down. And because of this, and the reason for that also is it helps to keep their attention. And then we want to know why our kids cannot sit in class and listen to a teacher for 30 minutes after they've watched YouTube for 4 hours. It's boring. He wants us to look at a teacher that stands there. There's no change of reference, there's no change of scenery, unless she has some kind of acrobatic thing going on there and have millions of slides and some special effects. People's attention is no longer kept. The more we do this, the shorter our attention spans get, and the less we can focus on something. And that's the reason why we go to church, the preacher preaches for 45 minutes, and everybody's asleep. Because we some kind of entertainment and stuff below. And so our choices in the basis affect these kind of things. All right. TV in the frontal lobe, we go through this here pretty quickly. A study that was done in 1977 that the rapid change effect of TV contributes to the hypnotic effect of television. This guy, Dr. Morris, this was very interesting. He went into the city of Detroit and he actually paid people. He paid people then $500 to be in the study, and he approached 250 families. They couldn't watch television for 30 days. Only 25 families accepted his offer. The others said, forget the $500, I'd rather watch TV. How sad is that? And I wonder what would happen if that study was done today. So there's all kinds of things, and he showed that people would go through withdrawal, they would go through anxiety, and they would almost like withdraw from drugs because they couldn't watch television and be exposed to that. What would happen today? We don't just have television, we have internet, we have YouTube, we have Snapchat, we have Facebook, we have our cell phones, we have iPads, we've got all kinds of gadgets that we watch things on all the time. It's no longer sitting in the living room watching television. It's in your car, it's on you all the time. And we are totally addicted to these kind of things. 20 years ago, there's already been 3,000 scientific articles written on this. So the world knows what this stuff is doing to them. More than 500 books have been written on this topic. And it's now been 6 decades since David Sarnoff unveiled the world's first TV in 1939. And we now ask ourselves, what is TV doing to our country? What is it doing to our church? What is it doing to our families? And we all know the answer to that. It's destroyed almost every aspect. It's destroyed our families, it's destroyed our marriages, it's destroyed our churches, and it's now busy destroying the minds of a whole generation of people that are addicted to these devices because of the exposure of these kind of things and the time that we put in. And these things definitely affects even our lifestyles. Metabolic rate of children 8 to 12 during TV viewing lower than when children were at rest. So what this is saying is the kids who sit and watch TV, their basic metabolic rate is slower than children who do nothing. So TV is actually worse for you than doing nothing. Besides that, people, when they watch television, they eat things that they're not supposed to be eating. They get into all kinds of things, and with a lower metabolic rate and more snacking consumption, that leads to obesity. And we have a major problem and a major obesity epidemic that's coming upon this nation with the rate of diabetes rising. Kids watch more than 80 hours on average of TV media average every week. That's like working with 2 extra jobs. Child obesity now more than 30% amongst children in the United States. So these things are a major problem in our society. They looked at a study that was done on the effect of television on us. And what they found is that they would present people with different modes of media, and then they would tell lies, blatant lies. They would see how many people would actually pick up the lie in the factual things that was presented. So people were exposed to an event, and then they would give a news event through television, through radio, and through newspaper. And what they found was that TV viewers, only 52% of the people detected the lie. That's like looking at porn. Of the newspaper readers, 64% of them were able to detect the lie, and of the radio listeners, 73% were able to detect the lie at least. So of all those ones, TV was the worst. And the reason for that is when we watch these kind of things, and the way that the pictures affect our brain waves, our ability to discern is compromised. And we cannot make. I've also found that it affected them physically and affected them in many other ways as well. They did a study at a hospital where they took 222 patients, mental patients, during a period of about a year. They exposed them to 7 months of MTV. Now, you know, MTV is probably the worst of some of the TV that's out there when it comes to rapid change of sequence and of reference. These things changes all the time. You can focus with anything. And then followed that by 5 months of no television. And then they looked at these people's reactions, their emotions, their anger, and all these kind of things. This is what they found. That verbal aggression decreased 32% when they took these people off MTV. Aggression against objects decreased by 52%. So they won't get frustrated and angry and inanimate things. And then aggression against other people decreased by 48%.